We've come to Shinsekai, which is a big area towards the south of Osaka that has a lot going on, especially towards the night time. It's where that really famous fugu blowfish lantern used to be, although I think they've taken it away now. Even though the fugu lantern isn't there anymore, there's still so much to look at in Shinsekai. It's a retro nightlife area with so many places to eat, and we'll be going up the observation deck in Tsutenkaku Tower, which also has a slide going down it. We've come to Dobutsuen-mae Station. There are a couple of stations that are close by to it, and we're going to walk in and see what we find. We spotted Tsutenkaku Tower. That's the main landmark of this area, so I know we're going in the right direction. If you've seen any pictures of Shinsekai, it'll be of this tower. We can see the start of the main area coming up ahead. There's lots of lights and lanterns, and I can see the Shinsekai sign in the background. We're here on a Sunday evening at the start of March. Everywhere else in Osaka has been pretty busy today, so I think there'll be a lot of people here this evening. Here's the famous view you see in all the pictures. And our pufferfish friend used to be there, but it's gone. Sad times. Well, the famous blowfish lantern might not be here, but there's lots of mini ones, all its little cousins.
That must have been off that pole.
Yeah, they should have kept it. The famous pufferfish lantern was taken down in 2020 when this fugu restaurant closed. They said the lantern stuck out too far from the building. It was 5 meters long. I think they could have bent the rules for our fugu friend, and considering what else there is in Osaka. I don't know what happened to the lantern. I know Spa World nearby was interested in having it, so if anyone knows, tell me in the comments. Mountains of food. This is quite a big restaurant, and there's a display over there with signatures as if famous people have come here. All the edamame, it says it's for 10 people, 1,000 yen.
Not much cucumber.
No one wants that. Actually, a lot of these restaurants have got signatures outside. If you're into photography, there's so much going on visually at Shinsekai. It's like the older retro cousin of Dotonbori. This first character is the easiest kanji to understand. It means kushikatsu, which is deep fried things on sticks basically, and the kanji character looks just like it. Kushikatsu is an Osaka speciality. This restaurant's huge as well. It's a fishing boat restaurant where you catch a fish and then they cook it for you. It's unusual for restaurants to be this big in Japan. This is a branch of Kura sushi decorated to look like a local restaurant. And McDonald's. We had dinner at Kura Sushi, although I would encourage you to try the many local restaurant options to truly get a taste of Shinsekai. Being vegetarian, it can be tricky to make the most of local places. Most of them don't have any veggie options, and I know I can always get a decent meal at Kura. Although I must admit, a whole bucket full of edamame is tempting. We've just popped into Kura Sushi for dinner. I ordered a mango chuhai and it arrived on the conveyor belt. I wasn't expecting it to be like this. It's full of actual mango bits. That's amazing.
Is that a mango kind of pork at the bottom as well?
It looks like it. Yeah. Looks good. They've also got soy nuggets on the menu now. That's a new thing, so I thought I'd try them. And trusty kappamaki. These are actually frozen mangoes. It seems like they're using them instead of ice blocks. The soy nuggets come with barbecue sauce. I was hoping they'd have some sort of sauce. Would have been a bit dry otherwise. I was thinking I might have to put some soy sauce on them or something. And for once, learning Japanese was worth it. Not that I've learned much Japanese, but I can read katakana. Barbecue sauce soup. Shinsekai literally means new world. It became an entertainment district when the National Industrial Exposition was held nearby in 1903. They decided to model the northern half on Paris with Tsutenkaku Tower like the Eiffel Tower and the southern part on Coney Island. There was an amusement park here called Luna Park which closed in 1925. It does still have a retro feel. As a designer, I love the look of these retro Japanese signs and all the lanterns. Let's just crop McDonald's out of the frame. What is inside this rainbow shop? Let's have a look. It's part of Japanese culture to buy omiyage, that's souvenir gifts, for your friends, family and colleagues every time you visit somewhere. So that's why you'll see these boxes of local sweets and snacks, and they do make good gifts. You'll see them at touristy places and Shinkansen stations. We're right underneath Tsutenkaku Tower and there's a mural on the ceiling. Didn't expect that, with peacocks. As well as being a landmark of the area, Tsutenkaku Tower has an observation deck and a slide. Let's go in. There's the end of the tower slider. That's where you come out. Looks like a disco slide, all the coloured lights. The tower slider is 1,000 yen for adults and 500 yen for children. And tickets for the tower are 900 yen or 1,200 yen for whether you want to go right to the top or not. I saw this poster about PP Mall Car and the Tsutenkaku Tower. I couldn't find any of their stuff in the shop, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the collab is. Phil's doing the tower slider. I was too scared to do it. I'm going to wait for him at the bottom. That's where we just were. You can see the giant gyoza. This is like Small World, but the real life version. I got to one of the tower. They've got stamps. All these stations with this guy have a stamp underneath. I'm going to see how many I can fit on one page of my book. Oh, it's one of those good luck mallets with the tower inside. Some kind of sack, I think, a sack of gold. That's good. This one's long and thin, so we should be able to fit it on as well. And squeeze it on. There we are. Oh, it's the instrument he's playing.
What's that instrument?
I know this. Can you remember it?
Yeah, I think so anyway.
I do know what it's called, I just can't think of the name.
A shamisen.
Yes, shamisen, of course. You see right over there in the distance, Osaka Castle. It looks so tiny. It's nice it's lit up though. Over this direction is the Abino Harukas building, which I think at one point was the tallest building in Japan. It is literally towering over everything else. It's currently the second tallest building in Japan. It also has an observation deck at the top. Oh, I like these rainbow lights. What is this, disco floor on the level below? Yeah. I don't mind the reflection if they're from a disco ball. There's no PP Mall Car. Why do they have all the posters up? We just came down from the observation deck and it's about the time it closes, so we just got funneled straight out the door onto the street. But Phil had a ticket for the tower slider and we can't get back in, so he can go on it.
Seems a bit of a problem because when we were down there it was not really clear how to go up to the slider.
No.
And then when we were up there was no way to come back and sort of stay in the building.
Yeah, so we thought we'd just go round again, and maybe it was the language barrier, but I think they really should have said something that you need to get a move on if you want to go to it,
yeah,
or not sold you a ticket.
Because we bought both at the same time. Like, I didn't really realise what time it closed. They could have said you can't do both.
Yeah, that's not very fair.
No, but there we are. Hey ho.
You could see further from the observation deck than I expected, because looking at the tower it doesn't look like it's that tall, but you can see quite a long way. What I would say is at night time it is quite full of reflections from all the lights on the deck, so it's quite hard to get a good photo or to film it very well. So this might be one that's better during the day.
I think if you want a good observation deck, the Umeda Sky Building is the one to do.
Yeah.
This was alright.
Yeah, the Umeda Sky Building is here in Osaka as well, in the north. I've got a video about that one on my channel, and that one was much better. That was actually one of my favourite observation decks. The view is really stunning.
Yeah, I think this was probably a bit expensive for what it was, really.
Yeah, I think this is an older, more retro style observation deck, but we tried it. And there was no Pew Pew Mall Car. What's going on with that? Turns out the collab finished before I got there, but they still had the posters up to taunt me. It's a Sunday evening and it's about 7:45 now, and it kind of feels like this place is winding down. It's a lot less busy than earlier and some shops have started to close, which kind of surprised me. Maybe it's because it's a Sunday. While the observation deck would be better in the daytime, Shinsekai as a whole is more atmospheric in the evening when all those lights and lanterns are glowing. Even this arcade has a retro look. I think Gigo and Taito Station need to put more effort into their presentation. I do like how they've maintained the unique character of the area. This Shinsekai sign makes me think of Sin City. If you have my Japan calendar, this is the inspiration for September. So that was Shinsekai in Osaka. This area definitely has a different feel from the rest of Osaka. It's a lot more retro, it has a different sort of vibe, and there is a lot to look at on the buildings with all the big signs and sculptures and lights. If you've ever been to Vegas, this feels a lot like the old strip compared to the new strip. It's got a similar sort of feel. Again, it's a Sunday evening and things seem to be wrapping up fairly early, but earlier on in the day it was really busy and buzzing and full of people. I did hear somewhere that this is supposed to be a bit of a bad area or a bit of a seedy area, and that you should watch out for your bag because there might be pickpockets around here. I haven't seen anything. I did kind of keep my hand on my bag just to be careful. I don't know if that's true or not, but just something to look out for. It doesn't feel unsafe at all. It's just a busy area like a lot of other places in Osaka. There's this Shotengai going off to the side. A Shotengai is a covered shopping street, and this feels pretty retro as well. There's a lot of restaurants that are really no frills. They just cook your food and that's it. Most of them are kushikatsu, which is the deep fried meat and vegetables on sticks served with a delicious sauce. This is called Janjan Yokocho. It's a real retro arcade. The name Janjan comes from the sound of restaurant and bar owners playing the shamisen to attract customers. To demonstrate how many convenience stores there are in Japan, there's a Family Mart there, and then there's another one down there right next to it. Very convenient. This hotel by the station has projections on it. They're projecting cherry blossom petals. It's pretty fancy.
It's annoying if you're staying in the room.
If it shines in your window.
Or are they LED panels?
There can't be LEDs over the whole building. From this station on the metro, here's the first train and the last train at 6 minutes past midnight. I hope you enjoyed looking around Shinsekai. It has a different feel to Dotonbori and the other areas of Osaka. There's so much to look at just walking around the streets, as well as lots of places to eat and enjoy all the local specialities of Osaka. Tell me what you thought in the comments, and I'll see you next Thursday with more videos about Japan.